So 1 year after the launch of Dynasty Warriors 2, Dynasty Warriors 3 was released on the second Shin Sengoku Musou series in Japan. Of course, the gameplay engine and the graphics engine have been drastically updated, providing better textures and graphics, as well as new stages, music, and being the first in the series released on the Xbox. But that is nothing compared to the biggest thing that came with this one, and that is 2-player co-op. Yes, that's right, this was the one to introduce 2-player co-op with split screen, each choosing from one of 42 characters. Damn, that's a big roster compared to Dynasty Warriors 2 of 28. Best part was that each character has their own unique moveset and weapon, so playing with 2 players allowed for maxing stats and earning points for them. I will be honest, I was hesitant at first at renting this due to the second game, but the co-op was what won me and my friend over, and I'm glad I gave it a chance. In fact, this is probably one of my most rented games for the console. Ah, perfect timing. Here you go, on it. Take that. There we go.
Process will be, but team we must.
See, that's a spirit.
To see spirit, we must contact the ancestral realm. A summoning circle you need.
It's a figure of speech.
Ancient proverb once said, one must speak when spoken to, or give backhand one with. One must keep thy hands strong.
I wouldn't say the 2-player co-op is perfect. There is some lag spike occasionally, and if too much is going on, officers can fade in and out from screen, even if health bar is turned on. Not to mention, the minimap is kind of rough on bigger maps. If you're trying to navigate with 2 players, because maybe even zoomed in you might find it hard to navigate, and with officers fading in and out of the fog of war, which isn't very far distance, can be troublesome. So there may be a lot of pausing and looking at the bigger map between the 2 players. But guess what? If we both have Musou field, we can perform a double Musou near each other. Not to mention if knocked, flying or juggled to the ground, tapping L1 allows us to do a somersault, instant recovering back to our feet. A welcome addition. Archers are still hell snipers, but luckily this game introduced weapons and items that can be attained by drops. Each character to 42 has a unique weapon that can be attained higher ranking weapons, increasing their damage, increasing their combo from 4 to 6, respectively, with a 4th weapon that has to be attained on the hard difficulty, and a certain stage objectives has to be completed for the red box to spawn and picked up. These weapons have some of the highest stats, passives, and an element like fire, lightning, and make it worth the grind to farm the characters on repeated stages just to make them strong enough for the challenge. Then there's the items that increase stats like defense, attack, speed, Musou, and even air defense. Each character can equip up to 5 items and one of each, no stacking allowed obviously, and these are shared among all characters. In fact, there's even rare ones that require certain objectives to attain, like beating Lu Bu will drop his famous horse Red Hair, allowing you to start each battle with his fastest horse. Speaking of Lu Bu, good god, this movie get his famous Lu Bu theme playing anytime he takes to the field like Kulao Gate, and it will be a series staple for each installment to have it remixed for that game. There's also the game made famous for the Do Not Pursue Lu Bu. I should also mention that the game has a lot more cutscenes and no longer are just a few seconds long. Thank god. It got kind of confusing with the last one, 3 to 10 second ones. Most of all the major events like officers announcing themselves for a fight or if they are struggling needing reinforcements would be spoken. It helps a lot now knowing what's going on, not just quick flashing text. However, Dynasty Warriors 3 dub is a gem to say the least. It's bad, like very bad. Half the name pronunciation is wrong. Like Cao Cao is called Cao Cao in this one. Yes, that's right. Instead of Cao Cao, like it's supposed to be pronounced, it's called Cao Cao in this one. But the dub is like a good laugh for events and cutscenes.
You flaming idiots! Take this!
The time for talk is over. Now we can move on to the planning.
Feel the power of my magic! Behold.
Good god, these are terrible, but man, I enjoyed them in a nostalgic way. If there's anything else bad I could say about this game, I would go on and talk about the officers still do, get their health back, along with attack or defense times 2 buffs. But it only happens when they charge their Musou, which yes, they can do that. But apparently it's a limited amount of times they can, do per battle. Either way, I've seen battles last longer still because of it, and occasionally the CPU gets aggressive with its peons and officers keeping you away from stopping the other officer from charging a Musou. Speaking of Musou, Gan Ning hurts like hell, and it's bull how quickly he uses it half the time, just running by slicing it for half or more of the health. But luckily, unlike 2, you can save in this game from the pause menu as many times as needed, which is a lifesaver for those unique items or 4th weapon grinds. Bodyguards in this one can be assigned different weapons and orders as well as how many you would take to battle. Interesting feature, this one also added the Musou one that can be found on certain stages, increasing the max Musou of the character, which you guess it, you'll be farming the same stage to pick up along with the dim sum Decrease at max health and Musou. I'm going to be honest, this one I do have the most nostalgia for, and crazy to think this is the one to get a remaster in months time from now. A good game with its flaws, a great time killer even to this day. Trying to max out all 40 characters, even the Mythos ones, Fu C and Nuwa, who will be removed from future installments, the countless rentals of this game to do so, and play with friends. Even for the English dub, stupidly bad Ghost Story dub that makes me laugh. I'm glad I gave this series another chance with us seeing it at the video store a year later.
Challenge mode! You forgot.
Honestly, I never really played it growing up, and I know neither of my friends did either, okay? So we're just gonna skip it.
True, that's maybe.
I did almost forget the opening edit mode where you can put various characters in the sequence to do random stuff. Even have them face each other. It's a complete random and stupid feature, but it's a fun little laugh that will be in future games. I had a blast surprisingly with this thing once you unlock it. With that said, it's time to bring this day to a close with a decent and incredible installment that I have a lot of nostalgia for.